Monday. Monster Truck Rally. It's not even Monday, but I'm glad you're here with us. Did you ever go to a Monster Truck Rally growing up?
Hell no.
What do you mean, hell no? Those things were like the coolest thing as a kid.
No.
You never experienced a
Not me.
Monster Truck Rally?
No, not me.
That's chaotic, man. I mean, as
It's
a kid,
not.
my grandma took me one, and I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen, Grandma. Thanks for being,
That's just a cultural thing, really.
maybe. I mean, we were towards the,
You were
lower
towards
scale
the middle of America where there's nothing else to do. You got
No, I was
monster
gonna say,
rallies
like, on a
and
society-
tornadoes.
on a society perspective, like financial perspective, we were kind of like, you know.
Oh, so you're saying people that go to monster rallies are poor?
Well, there's
Or like-
certainly
or
a
just
demographic for them, and I was
lower
part of
America.
that. I'm proud of that
Lower
demographic.
America.
Hell yeah. And I'd go again today. In fact, I went to one in LA like 2 years ago. I thought it was sick. I mean, what's not badass about cars destroying other cars? I mean, come on, it doesn't get more badass than that. Anyway, we're wasting your time. Thanks for joining us, guys. We do have a great mock draft ahead of you, and maybe multiple mock drafts if we reach our like goal. But we see you guys in the chat. I see you alternate. Travel is here. Styles is here. Ben is here. Cajun. We got Donald. Good evening, fellas.
How we feeling,
Scribble's here. You want some pizza? I'd love to see it. I have to start the stream with some very unfortunate news. You and I haven't even talked about this off stream. Woke up. I was like, wait, what the fuck? How in the world? At what point did this happen? JJ McCarthy is undergoing surgery on his knee for a torn meniscus. And I'm sitting here thinking like, wait, when did he tear his meniscus? Like, on what play? How did that even happen? But it did happen. So if you think back to Jalen Ramsey last year, similar situation. I think he came back around middle of the season. But I would say for me, if you have Sam Darnold in a dynasty league, I think this feels pretty good because in Superflex formats, you'll be able to start him probably for most of the season. And if you owned JJ McCarthy in dynasty leagues, you probably didn't expect too much from him out of this year anyway. So I don't know it really derails all that much for me. But I think the one thing we do have to ask is how confident are we drafting Jefferson as high as he's going with less options in the backfield? Now you are relying on Sam Darnold being good, which he hasn't historically been good.
Yeah, exactly. And, that's the biggest thing for me. I'm not sure how confident I am in drafting Justin Jefferson at all this year. I think, you're probably going to get him at a value. But when it comes on to Sam Darnold, who does not have the history of producing fantasy relevant wide receivers, one, he didn't have the talent of Justin Jefferson around him. He didn't have the offensive mind coach around him either. But still, it makes you wonder, can Justin Jefferson or can Sam Darnold produce a top 10 wide receiver?
He never has, but he's never played in an offense like this
exactly
with a receiver like that. So.
It makes you wonder if Justin Jefferson falls to like the 112, which I doubt that's going to happen, I'm happy to take a chance. But if he's still going at the 106, 107 area and AJ Brown is still on the board, I'm still going AJ Brown, and I think even the other wide receivers that potentially could be there, the Pukas, or maybe you go the running back over Justin Jefferson at this point.
I'm not sure about that right now. I think I still lean Jefferson over AJ, but it's much closer than it was before for me, and I could be convinced otherwise. So I definitely hear where you're coming from for sure. But, last thing I'll say here on Sam Darnold is sometimes you're just not put in the right situation. Like, we can't really say for sure Sam Darnold can't be a good quarterback or he's just dog shit. Family-friendly stream, working on it. Okay. We can't really say that because think about the situations he's been in. Like, what quarterback would have gone to the New York Jets when he was drafted to them and succeeded? They were such a terrible team. How about in Carolina? We haven't seen anyone succeed in Carolina without him. I mean, even Baker Mayfield succeeds after he leaves Carolina, So all I'm saying is he's never been in a situation like this where he's had an opportunity to start. So I'm open to any possibilities. Now, we are going to do a mock draft. So if people would like to join us, how can they get into the mock draft, Badaki? And we'll get this thing popping.
Yeah, guys, join our Discord. That link is in the description. That link is also in the chat there. Go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs. Go to announcements, and that's exactly where I'll be posting the link to each and every mock draft here. Once again, Fantasyland tab, orange footballs, announcements. That link is going there in 3, 2, 1. It is first come, first serve, by the way. So make sure you get your clicks on quick.
It's like a pop-up. You know, pop-ups are really popular right now. It's like first come, first serve. You know, you get in, you know, nice little pizza, whatever. Well, pop-ups are popular here. I don't know if they're popular in America. But anyway. All right, so this is a one quarterback start 9 PPR league. Start 9 meaning we can start. You can see here where my cursor is. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 3 flex spots. We do have a like goal today of 80 likes. If we reach that goal, we will pop off a second mock draft. Maybe we'll do super flex. Maybe we'll keep it 1 quarterback and help out the people who are in a start 7 league. Maybe we'll switch up to start 8. I don't know, but we'll just continue to help. You know, the goal of these streams is to help you get ready for your draft. So let's get this thing going in 3, 2, 1. And be a friend. Hit that like button to help us reach that goal.
Because you got a friend in me.
Yeah. You got a friend in me. CMC off the board at the 101. Then CeeDee Lamb. I can't remember a time when there's been more question marks at the top of the draft.
Bro, that's exactly what I'm about to say. CeeDee Lamb is a question mark currently so far. Justin Jefferson is a question mark right now. Jahmyr Gibbs is a question mark. Puka Nacua is a question mark. There's so many question marks happening, and it can get worse, to be honest with you. All right. I'm here at the 108. CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson still at the 106. While Aaron is taking him with Bijan Robinson. I'll take Breece Hall, no question.
All right, Breece Hall goes at the 108. And yeah, I'm in the unfortunate position of having the 112 in multiple leagues. There's still no new news on Jahmyr Gibbs, unless you guys in the chat have heard anything. I haven't heard anything.
Either.
And we just released a rankings video today for you guys. And we don't know exactly how to rank Jahmyr Gibbs at this point. It's really difficult. I mean, to me, Gibbs was a smash at this pick before that injury. And now I honestly don't know what to do. And the 112 feels more disgusting than it ever has in any fantasy draft ever. Like, genuinely, I can't remember a time where the turn has felt this disgusting to me. I don't know if I'm the only one who has these feelings. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this way. But it is not fun to be here. It's not fun at all. Like, I'm sitting here like, do I just fucking take a quarterback who I know is going to be good? I mean, it's like so many players in the same tier. So many running backs in the same exact tier now. Oh, I hate this. I truly hate this. And I think I'm just going to stack up on some wide receivers, I guess. I'm going to go Marvin and Puka here and just see how that feels when it comes back to me on the turn. I got to try a bunch of different strategies now. I have to await more information on Jahmyr Gibbs. He would have been an easy pick there. We could have gone JT, totally an option. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's really, really tough. Gerard says he's worried about Gibbs. Scribble says Puka's supposed to be good for week 1, which is great to hear. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I'm just looking. Apparently,
you know, it's been 10 years since that video.
Yeah.
Apparently,
he's going to have a real chance to be back on opening night. Okay, so apparently Adam Schefter was on Pat McAfee's show asking about that injury, and he says,
which one? Gibbs.
Yeah, about Gibbs today. So hamstring will tell me that he's going to have a real chance to be back on opening night. And the team will be smart until then, according to Adam Schefter. Yeah,
and TX kind of said, it commented my sentiment in these situations. Like, hamstrings are really tough to bet on because you and I know this after doing this for how many years? What's the only thing that fixes a hamstring?
Time.
And we are short on time. But I think at this point, he's a huge steal, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to take him here. I have him on my queue.
I don't think I let him fall any further than that.
I was looking at the wide receivers. Like, do I take any of these wide receivers or the running backs over him? Like, he
Mm,
normally goes like when healthy, he's going what from the 110 onwards.
yeah,
I'm happy to take him right there, the 2.5, and I'll take
yeah.
I'll take the gamble for sure.
So MJ had a question here. Is CD only questionable because of the contract? If you guys have been with us on the last couple of streams, we mentioned that we're going to start creating content over on our new channel. And Badaki released his first video specifically about the CD Lamb situation over on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet to Fantasy Never Stops with Fantasyland, I just put a link
Yeah.
in the chat. Go check that out. He details that situation really well. Now, you and I might not have the same opinion. Like, I'm so comfortable taking CD that high. I know you aren't, but I totally see the reasons why. You know what I mean? Like, I can totally understand why people should, maybe just have a think about it. Like, is Tyreek the better option, right? Like, does he make more sense? There's less to worry about right now. So I can definitely see where you're coming from in that video for sure.
Yeah, definitely go check that out. And I've always said this: if CeeDee Lamb signs a contract right now, easily 101, 102. But if CeeDee Lamb, let's just say preseason week 3 has officially come to an end and CeeDee Lamb has not signed his contract, I'm
Yeah.
100%. I'm shaking in my boots. I'm not sure if I'm taking him if I had my draft right when preseason, the slates of
I get
preseason
that.
week 3 is over.
I understand that. I totally understand that. I just have a feeling that the Chase, the Lamb, like, I don't think these situations last that long. I do think
What's
they will
crazy?
get resolved in the next week or so.
What's crazy is like Jerry keeps digging himself. Like keeps digging the hole bigger and
Well,
bigger as if
he
like
had a good report recently, though. I don't know if you saw that interview that came out yesterday where he said, hey, what I said yesterday might have been misconstrued. CD, we miss you. We want you. We need you back. Like, he said all those kind of things. So I think he kind of covered himself well, but I don't know. Certainly weird vibes in Dallas right now all around.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's a bit weird.
But I believe the contract's going to get done. I believe he's going to be on the field. How about you right now? I mean, I know right now without knowing it's difficult, but do you believe it will be done?
I hope it's done. I don't see CeeDee Lamb playing this year without that contract being done. That's what I have to say.
Yeah. All right, so in the second round, we see Puka, Taylor, London, Adams, Gibbs, Kyron, Olave, Henry, Etienne, Ayuk, Debo, Achane. We have been saying this all offseason. I don't want to pound it into the ground, but can you remember a second round you felt less confident about in your entire life in fantasy football drafts, Badaki? Or is it just me?
No, I'm getting more confident in the second round. I feel like I feel really confident in Derrick Henry now, in Travis Etienne now. I feel really confident, at least in the running backs. But I do get what you're saying. The majority of the second round is a little bit tough to
I guess
kind of swallow.
this is where I come from. I feel like most time the second round and the third round, I feel like there's a distinction in range of outcomes. I don't feel that way this year. Like that's I guess what I'm trying to say is like I almost feel like the second and third round have the same range of outcomes. I would not be surprised if the entire third round outscores the entire second round ADP this year, or the opposite. Nothing would surprise me. It just feels like there's so much shaky ground we're standing on right now, I guess.
Yeah, no, I definitely get you. And there are question marks in the second round as well. What is the Vaughn workload going to look like? What about Chris Olave and the Rams? Is Kyron Williams going to be those opportunities taken away from Blake Corum? Drake London, is he really going to, produce with Kirk Cousins? You hope so. Is Puka Nacua going to be healthy? What's Jonathan Taylor going to look like with Anthony Richardson in a full, 18 slate game or 17 slate game? So there's question marks for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. We're on the turn here. And
You're turning.
I think I'm going to have to reach on a running back. But we are first going to grab a tight end. I don't want to leave a draft without an elite tight end. We've already got McBride. So I think our answer is going to be Andrews here. And then we are also going to go ahead and grab... Man, yeah, there's two teams with no running backs. I don't want to risk this too far. We're also going to grab Alvin Kamara here, who's a official my guy this year. I said this in a video. I think he should be a late second, early third pick. Right now, his ADP is 5th. I think it will settle on the 4th round. I think that's what his ADP will be when all is said and done, a 4th round pick. But I still think that's a huge value based on what he can offer you in a PPR format. He's probably, like, if you were to tell me, name 5 running backs that could lead the NFL in targets this year, like, Kamara would be the first one I think of.
Yeah. I mean, he missed 3 games last year, and what he was, I think if I'm not mistaken, he was top 5 in receptions. He was second in receptions amongst running back.
His first game back, do you remember this? This was so funny to me. He had 14 targets. Do you know how many yards he had on 14 targets?
I mean, it was probably like less than 80 yards or something like that.
No, it was 33 yards. He had 33 yards on 14 targets.
My guy was just catching the ball and then falling on the ground, catching the ball, falling on the ground.
But yeah, actually, I have. You're right. He was 3rd in targets last year with 86 targets in 13 games. Okay, so he had 86 targets in 13 games, meaning he averaged about 6.6 targets per game. Breece Hall, who led the NFL with 95, was averaging an entire target less per game than Alvin Kamara last year. So PPR formats, he's a cheat code.
Yeah, Alvin was my guy last year, even with the suspension. So I think
you
him
nailed
being
that.
one this year.
You nailed that. I was way too concerned for silly reasons. I still wonder what Kendre Miller's impact could have been had he been healthy the last 2 years in general. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Trying to catch up with the chat. Ralph says nightly trend with a start 7 after this again. Maybe. We got a like goal, if you guys don't know, of 80 likes. Pretty much every stream will set a like goal. If we reach that goal together, we'll pop off a second mock draft. Today's goal is 80 likes. If you haven't hit the like button yet, be a friend, smash that thing if you want to help the channel grow. We are already halfway there on this stream, and if we reach that goal, we'll continue to keep this party pumping. Jesse, White is in the same tier for me. Unfortunately, at the turn, you have to kind of have to reach on your guys, right? Rachaad White, totally. If Kamara wasn't there, I would have considered Rachaad White. He would have been an option for me. But I think they're kind of similar. Like, inefficient players on offenses that are okay, and will be targeted a lot. I just feel more comfortable with Alvin Kamara this year. But they're in the same tier. Unfortunately, because I was at that point of the draft, I had to get in at the beginning of a tier for myself rather than the end. But drafting on the edge is, like, by far my least favorite place to draft this year, guys, is the 12th spot. And I have it in multiple leagues. And there's not a pick where I feel confident in this year. Like, the first 6 rounds, I'm like, okay, there's 17 options here. I guess I'll go this way,
Yeah, it's tough. On the edges here, I mean, every single year on the edges, you're going to have to reach. But this year, it's like, you got to reach, my guy. You got to go for your guy, no doubt about it. So, completely agree.
Hey, big shout out from New Zealand, bro.
You from New Zealand, bro?
I'm
shout out from Australia, my guy. Huh?
Check out my duck, bro. No, we're in Sydney right now, so big shout out to you, man. We're not far across the pond.
Yeah, come through.
Oh
man.
All right, trying to catch up with the chat. MJ says Murray McBride stack or Allen Kincaid. I think the Murray McBride stack is cheaper. I think Allen's going to be too expensive for me in drafts, but I don't mind. Like, if you go Allen Kincaid, you got to do that in probably the first 4 rounds in home
exactly.
With Murray McBride, you can do it in McBride in the 3rd or 4th, and then Murray in like the 7th.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel confident with that.
Scribbles asked, do you think Gabe Davis could be relevant this year? All I will say is watch the video that comes out tomorrow morning, okay? Because I do think my opinion on Gabe Davis has definitely changed. And, that's the usage stuff is what we want to glean, not too heavily, but we want to just take some information from usage with starters in preseason. And we'll get more information this weekend as well. But yeah, I won't reveal too much. So you started double running back. You did Neighbors there at the 308, McBride at the 405. You're up on the clock again. And what are you thinking here?
Yeah, it's an easy pick for me. My mouse just died, but I have...
Just tell me who to pick for you then.
Rashee Rice. No, I got it. Rashee Rice there.
I hate
Richie
that you're
Rich.
so in on Rashee Rice because it means I will never have him in a draft if you're ahead of me.
Well, once I was really out of Rashid with the expectation of him being suspended for. I think we had a full-on conversation about it. Him being suspended, 4 to 6 games early on in the season. If it was going to be a 3-game suspension, kind of like what Alvin Kamara dealt with last year, I would have been okay to still take him here at the 5.8. But the fact that it looks like he's not going to get suspended at all, his ADP is right back where it needs to be.
Okay, can I ask something? I'm gonna wait for Zach to make his pick here, but I am wildly confused about a player currently available.
I think it's because I think I know who you're talking about. I think it's because recent news.
What is the recent news on Joe Mixon? What the hell is Joe Mixon available for here?
Okay, never mind.
It's not Joe Mixon. No. What is Joe Mixon doing available at the 512? Am I missing a report on Joe Mixon?
Yeah, am I missing a report? I honestly didn't even see Joe Moneybags there, to be honest with you. I didn't even second guess.
I feel like I've lost my mind here seeing Joe Mixon at the 512.
Well, Mixon had the sideline the past couple of weeks due to a hamstring. He still has had just under 1 month to get fully healthy, where he is slated to lead the Texas backfield. That was 6 hours ago. So it says Joe Mixon hamstring at practice on Tuesday. So he's back at practice.
Oh, he's back at practice. Okay, I thought you were telling me he just dealt with a hamstring injury. Okay, interesting. We're also going to grab David Montgomery here at the 601. This is kind of like if Gibbs is, seriously going to be dealing with the hamstring, I feel comfortable taking Monty in the 6th now more than I did previously. Not a type of build we typically ever do here. It's typically the opposite. If, it looks strange right now, but I don't understand why Mixon went off the board this late. I'd love to hear from people if they're hesitant on Mixon, what's going on there. But this is not an efficient running back. It's a guy who relies on volume and being a part of a good offense. And that's pretty much what he'll have this year again in Houston, in my opinion.
Agreed. I just complete oversight there.
Okay.
Didn't see him. I thought you were talking about a wide receiver that's currently still available. That was going like in the 4th round a couple weeks ago, but obviously with recent news.
Yeah, well,
potentially.
Because that's why I couldn't decide to take him there myself, because I don't know what's going on. Let's wait and see when he comes off the board, but there's too many questions right now to have confidence in that name. And if I was drafting today,
I'm going to take Ramondre because my plan was to take Monty on the comeback here, get a wide receiver, and then hopefully Monty comes back to me. But, as the season started tomorrow, I got Jahmyr Gibbs probably not starting, hypothetically. I'm going to take Ramondre Stevenson here.
I like it. Evie says, you're hesitant on a lingering hamstring injury for Gibbs, but not Mixon. So, key piece of information there that we just talked about. Gibbs just suffered a hamstring injury. We do not know the severity of it, okay? This could be a 6-week absence. It could be a 3-week absence. It could be an 8-week absence. He could re-injure his hamstring. We don't know. The difference between Gibbs and Mixon is, number one, Gibbs is a 2nd round or 1st round pick. I just took Mixon in the 5th, 6th round, and Mixon is on the opposite side of that journey. He has already recovered from his hamstring injury. So that is the big difference there between those two players.
Exactly.
Lloyd really likes your pick in Stevenson, by the way. Ronnie says, hey, thoughts on Brandon Ayuk Steelers trade almost done? We've been hearing that for a month.
Yeah. What's funny is that every time there's a report that says Brandon Ayuk deal is pretty much done to go to the Steelers, they just need to finalize it, another report an hour later goes, actually, the 49ers have a deal in place for Brandon Ayuk. It's like
it's just this constant game of back and forth, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like, oh no, we're gonna match it now, or we're gonna give you a better offer. Well, this is what they'll offer. It's like, oh my god, just get it done. All right, piss or get off the pot. So yeah. All right. Yes, Owen, we do know what keepers are, my friend. A lot of people play in a keeper league. Yep. It's a version, I guess you could say, of a dynasty league. Every keeper has different settings, though. Style says, I could have went between Ken Walker or Mixon. Otherwise, yeah, he shouldn't be there at the end of the fifth.
Yeah, I agree.
Gerard says, how does Monty's value change if Gibbs misses any time? So let's just cover this real quickly. Okay, so here's the 75 to 80% expectation I think we should have. Okay, that is Gibbs might miss a game or two. So it wouldn't really impact Monty that much.
Monty, no.
The other 30% is if this injury lingers and it reoccurs, that's a serious thing. I mean, think about Cooper Kupp last year, right? That injury just kept reoccurring. Same thing with Keenan Allen towards the end of the year. So like just hamstring injuries in general, the only thing that fixes them is time. And you want to get on the field early, and then you might come back too early. That's why it's difficult to project at this moment.
That is the problem there. So hopefully we can figure out what Jahmyr Gibbs and that severity is going to look like. So hopefully soon, and hopefully we have a timetable, because we don't have a timetable. It just says hamstring injury with no timetable. If they come out and say he's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks, that's most likely going into week 2, maybe even week 3, depending on how bad this strain is. So we need to keep in mind of when that report actually does come out, because I think that does boost Monty's value a little bit. I think people will take Monty. I'm personally taking Monty still over Aaron Jones and DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
But I don't see him rising or above James Cook or Alvin Kamara. If we're just looking at the board right now, I don't see him rising higher than that.
Yeah, I just got sniped on. My guy, but that's fine. I actually really wanted JS in here, so that's perfect. And we will also, you might find this surprising, but we'll take a shot on Christian Watson. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
I normally have my queue. I know you normally either not
That's
you,
fine.
but no one normally takes Christian Watson. I love Christian Watson this year.
Hey, I'll trade you him for Rashee Rice right here, right now. We'll make a deal, brother.
No.
You take my guy, I'll take your guy. And we'll just swap them. Sniper, no sniping. Dom says Pickens is my guy, but what happens if Ayuk is traded? Yeah, this is why we just need clarity. If Ayuk is not a Steeler this year, I'm all in on George Pickens. If he is a Steeler, I am not in on George Pickens. I cannot be in on George Pickens if he's clearly not going to be the number one. Like, think about this. If the Steelers genuinely trade for Ayuk is the number one. Like, he just is. They're going to pay him, around almost $30 million a year? They'll target him 130 to 40 times.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't mind this team. I just don't think I can guarantee Mixon at the 512, but I don't mind this team at all that we've built here on the edge. Just trying different strategies.
Especially in the home league.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Mixon is no longer on the Bengals, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to take a shot on D-Hop.
Okay. D-Hop off the board. Aaron says, should I be comfortable taking Allen at the 101 in a 2-quarterback redraft? So, 2-quarterback, super flex, you guys should expect quarterbacks to be the first players off the board. If in your first round there's not at least 6 quarterbacks in a super flex league, your league doesn't know what they're doing in super flex or 2-quarterback format. So yeah, Allen is probably the number one pick. For me, it's if you're at the 101, who's your number one quarterback this year? For me, that is Jalen Hurts. I don't actually remember asking you, who is your number one quarterback this year?
It's Josh Allen. It's Josh Allen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And honestly, I actually just looked at it after some recent updates. I also have Allen one. They're literally neck and neck. I have them in like the same category.
Exactly. I don't think it's a wrong answer. I think both of those guys are going to be competing for the QB1. I think the team that needs the quarterback more is Josh Allen. Not saying they don't need Jalen Hurts, but you get what I'm saying. Like, Josh Allen fuels this team where you have Devonta Smith, you have AJ Brown, you have Saquon Barkley. If Jalen Hurts goes down, they could potentially still drive the ball down the field. Basically, what I'm trying to say.
I can see that narrative for sure.
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from. Dom says unrelated, but drove by your old house today. So if you guys don't know, Dom, we grew up together. One of my best mates. And I never even said best mates when I knew him. That's just an Australian thing that stuck with me.
Damn, son. Damn. But, he not even called. Damn.
But I was going to say, what I remember most about us hanging out for some reason is going to Quick Trip if anybody's in the middle of America, you guys know Quick Trip very well. I miss Quick Trip so much. Like the convenience of a Quick Trip, nothing like that is in Australia. Nothing
Is there
even
quick
close.
trips in Texas? You better find out.
I don't know,
Let's
maybe.
find out.
But
Austin,
I
Texas.
freaking love Quick Trip, man. QT. It's QT and making beats and rapping in your basement. That's what I remember the most, Dom.
Quick Trip. There is a Quick Trip in. Is it a gas station?
Yeah, it's a gas station.
Yeah, but there's like they're all over Texas.
Well, I probably can't eat the way I did as like a 16-year-old, 15-year-old anymore, but I definitely would love to go for sure. Although people are spelling it with a K, where I was from, it was spelled like this with a Q.
QUIK trip.
QUICKTRIP or something like that. Definitely started with a Q.
The one that I'm seeing is QUIK trip.
Okay, that's probably it then. Yeah, that's probably it.
Is Quick Trip just like Wawa? You know
It's
Wawa
probably
is?
similar. Yeah, it's like just think of like an American gas station that's very good.
Yeah, that's Wawa.
Yeah. Yeah, Quick Trip reigns supreme. It's funny that so many people can relate on that. Hey, I always like to just offer insight. This is not to call Zach out at all, but the reason we're mocking is to help people out. I just want you to think about this, Zach. If Romeo Dobbs was a target of yours, any of you guys, if you are on the edges, like read the next player. I just took Christian Watson. So if you were between a couple players, for example, maybe instead of going that route of Romeo Dobbs, you go the other player you were interested in. Again, the only reason I say that is because is just simply because I want to help you guys draft as best as you can. And if you know that I just took Watson, I'm probably not going to double up on Dobbs there. And maybe there's a player you wanted instead, and you just know Dobbs would fall to you. So let me know if that makes sense, guys. Maybe it doesn't. You know, Zach probably still got the players he wanted anyway. But just in general for you guys in drafts, if you're on the 10-11, if you're on the 3-4 and it comes back to the 1-2, like definitely read the board before you make your pick, because if someone has a tight end, they might not go tight end, or a quarterback, you know, or that kind of player from the same team, same position. So just a little insight there.
A little insight. I get you. I get what you're saying. Just got to read the board. All right, there goes Ezekiel Elliott there. Did Ford go off the board? Am I tripping?
I don't think Jerome is gone yet. For some reason, Nick Chubb keeps getting drafted super high.
No, I'm not seeing him on my queue here. I'm typing in Ford and it's not coming up. So he went to 9-7. He went to 9-7. I'm tripping. All right, I'm going to be taking.
Yeah. I'm blind.
I'm taking I'm blind as well.
I'm legally blind. Anyway, I'm glad we can all connect on Quick Trip. What's up, Scooby? Welcome in. Chandler says it's better than Wawa. Okay, that's good to hear. Matt says, do you review and rate people's draft picks? We do review and rate people's teams for sure. We actually did that on yesterday's stream. So if you go to our channel and look at live streams, look at yesterday's stream, look at how we ended the stream. We reviewed some people's teams over on the Flock Fantasy website. If you want your team reviewed, I'll just quickly let you know. Best way is to become a yearly Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND on the Flock Fantasy website. Put a link in there. So yeah, we'll be reviewing a lot of people's teams this offseason on a live stream with you guys. So that is available for you. But yeah, no pressure, obviously. Just wanted to reply to that comment. So Chase Brown goes at the 10:08. All right, so Chase at the 10:08, and then we saw Zach Moss at the 8:09. I don't think that, like, and I'm a Zach Moss guy. I would bet on Zach Moss here, but I don't think the ADP has changed enough based off of offseason reports. I think they should be going much closer. I think they should both be 9th round picks now.
You know, I would agree. And I normally would take Chase Brown, I guess, kind of switching the conversation. Because I'm a Chase Brown guy, right? So I'm happy to take Chase Brown. I'm taking him ahead of Zeke, Blake Corum, Gus Edwards. The reason why I'm taking Blake Corum, where I think I'm going to be taking Blake Corum now over Chase Brown, is because if Kyren Williams goes down, the trade value of that is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
right? Like the upside is next level. Where I don't think if Zach Moss goes down, people are like quick to go buy Chase Brown. I still
I don't
believe in
know.
him.
I think it's similar, to be
You
honest.
think so? Okay.
I think it's
The only
similar.
reason why I think it's
But
different is because of the talent. Blake Corum
oh
was a
yeah, yeah.
second, third round pick in the NFL. He's in a high powered offense.
Sure.
In
Well,
the usage of the way we've seen in the past. So
to back up your point, the Rams have had a top under Sean McVay in the last 7 years have had a top 2 points per game score at the running back position in 3 out of the last 7 years. That's impressive. They've had a top 21 finish in 5 out of the last 7 years at the running back spot. So clearly, a running back attached to a Sean McVay offense is a very valuable thing to have. I've said this before. I'm with you. I think Blake Corum is the most valuable handcuff in fantasy football, but that tells me you view Chase Brown as a handcuff. That's where I don't see the, because I think if you're a Chase Brown guy, you don't think he's a handcuff.
yes, no, because I do believe he's going to be. I don't see him as a handcuff. I see him both of those guys splitting those opportunities. That's how I've always seen it. I never saw one always leading. I always saw both taking opportunity. That's why I never wanted to take Zach Moss as high as he's going.
Okay.
But yes,
but you see where that confusion lies for me a little bit.
Sure, yeah, that definitely does make sense. Where I see Blake Corum as a handcuff, but if he does go down, it's like we know it's his backfield.
Sure. I can understand that. I just feel like the same is for Cincinnati. Like, I don't think Travion Williams now becomes a threat.
Especially with the reports coming out, for sure.
Okay, so I can't believe I'm saying this. I was hoping Gabe Davis was going to fall to me. Just watch the video that comes out tomorrow, guys. He's just a fun pick now to me. I just think like the way they're using him is very fun. I also was hoping Josh Palmer was going to fall to me. That did not happen. But we still have a couple names we're targeting here, and I'm hoping that Zach doesn't snipe me. Oh, you're fucking kidding
Definitely
me.
a snipe.
You are fucking kidding me.
Definitely a snipe.
Yeah! Great!
Bang!
No, just let him fall. I've been thinking about him for 23 picks. It's fine. Everything's fine. That's okay.
Still the wide receiver one out there.
Son of a bitch, dude. I am going to take Pop Douglas. I want one of these names. I want Polk or Douglas this year. I really, really want one of those names. They're very exciting to me. If that offense is better than people are anticipating, I think there's a very high ceiling. And it's a little bit disgusting here on out, if I'm honest with you guys. So I am going to try and hit on another upside pick with Caleb Williams. Like, just thinking about drafts last year, if I go a risky option late like Jaden Daniels, I want another quarterback. You can go safety if you want. You can go Herbert, Purdy, right? Goff, Tua instead. I just wanted to load up on some of those unknowns second half of the season. If Caleb Williams is CJ Stroud and the amount of injuries that happened last year to the quarterback position happens again this year, then, you know, there's a case to be made that Caleb could be the most valuable trade piece. However, I totally understand. I totally understand that it's not a format I personally like to do very often. It's not a strategy I like to pursue very often.
I definitely get you. Guys, if you guys do not know, this weekend, not this weekend, but we are going to Texas, Austin, Texas, and we are doing a meetup. There should be still tickets available August 22nd at 6:30 at a location called the Brewery. Yeah, I'll send you the link. I'll put the link in the chat, by the way, now.
Okay, yeah.
But I'll also send you, well, I guess that link's in the chat, so you can click on that. So, yes, you guys don't know, on the Flock Fantasy website,
Well,
Zach and
it's
myself.
actually its own site. Sorry, this link. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the link.
My bad.
No, I guess like on the Flock Fantasy website, all the creators on the Flock Fantasy website, Mason, ourselves, FSC, and the Domain Boys. We're going to be meeting up with you guys over there, Half Price Beers, which is also exciting there, and it's our first meetup that we personally would ever do. So we'll be excited to see some of you guys out there, in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, no pressure if you're in Austin.
No
By the
pressure.
way, if you are going to come and you're going to like fly from somewhere or travel from somewhere or like get a hotel or something, DM us. Please DM us. We don't want you to pay for a ticket. And the only reason tickets are even there is because we have a capped venue. So we have to know how many people are there. That's what they told us. So, yeah, I saw someone pick Tom Brady. So Aaron's obviously trolling here. But that is hilarious.
Some people believe TB12 can come back still.
Ryan said, did you see Sleeper's new feature? I did, and I haven't wrapped my head around it. I haven't had enough time to wrap my head around it yet. But very cool feature that Sleeper just updated. And guys, we always say Sleeper's the best fantasy app, and people get annoyed about it if they play on ESPN or Yahoo or whatever. But like, I'm sorry, Sleeper is the app that consistently asks their audience what they want and then implements it. Like, Sleeper tweeted out 2 days ago, what's a feature you want? And someone talked about this feature, and then they freaking made it happen in 2 days. Like, ESPN hasn't updated a feature in like 10 years, respectfully. I think they just got a draft board. Like, do you know how embarrassing that is to just get a draft board in 2024? So again, it doesn't matter where you play fantasy football. It's fun no matter what. But this is why we always say we love Sleeper, because they're just consistently updating, consistently making their app better. They updated with a player auto substitution, a new way to manage game time decisions. So you can set an auto sub in your lineup. If Saquon is questionable, all right, who are you going to sub in for him if he doesn't play? No longer do you have to like wait till these last minute decisions. It will automatically sub someone in or out for you. Very, very cool feature that they've implemented here. And if you're international like Badaki and I mean, guys, we wake up at 3 a.m. every Monday morning to watch the Sunday morning games in America. And we have so many decisions to make in our roster. We want to sleep before we watch all these games. This is so perfect for us. So anyway, again, another endorsement for Sleeper. They're not paying us at all. There's no reason for them to pay us. It's just us telling you why we really, really like them.
And this is also like another good opportunity to like you think of Gibbs, right? Like, is Gibbs going to be ready week 1? We're not sure that week.
Yeah.
You know, I'll have Ramondre Stevenson waiting in the wings now and just plugging him in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So clearly Aaron is trolling hardcore now because he's got Tom Brady and Joe Milton, but it's all about having some fun here, isn't it? Trent says, if round 1 and round 2 are all about safety, you should have one feel like it should be Tyreek the Freak. That's fair. Scooby says we do basketball on Sleeper, but I haven't convinced my boys to move to football yet. Definitely a good idea. All right, I'm on the clock here. This is the last round. I think Kendre is probably who I will select here.
I gotta call on Tyrone.
So we will grab Kendre, and we will also grab Jermaine Burton, who was deep down the depth chart. He has already moved drastically up the depth chart. I don't know if you guys know this. After just one preseason week, he played so well. They were like, actually, you're not that low on the depth chart anymore. He's already moving up. He's a rookie. He's playing well. So I think Yoshi's a fun last pick. I think Burton's a fun last pick. Both very, very good options, in my opinion. Nick says, how do you get into these mocks? The first step is just by joining our Discord, my friend. I'll put that link in the chat for you. And once you're in our Discord, every link we ever post will be under the Fantasyland tab and the announcements tab. All right, that's where those links will be. Did we reach our like goal today for another mock?
Did we set a like goal? I don't remember.
We did at 80.
Okay, I didn't remember.
Okay, yes. So we did reach our like goal, which is awesome. So we will pop off a second mock for you guys. And I want to ask the chat what kind of... We'll do one quarterback because there's a lot of quarterback out there. But how many starters should we mock with? Does that make sense? So are you in a start 7? Are you in a start 8? We won't do start 9 again because we already did it. So you guys vote. Vote in the chat if you want to start 7, if you want to start 8. That's what we'll do for this next one.
It's all up to you.
We'll set a new like goal as well, where we can maybe do a Superflex one as well. So
yeah, we got to practice some Superflex. We got a bunch of Superflex leagues, so let's just
definitely do.
Get that like goal up, and then we'll do a Superflex. What what is it? Start 9, start 10.
Let's set a like goal then for our third mock draft tonight. And let's make it 125 again. That's what we've been doing consistently. So let's do that again. 125 likes is a like goal for a third mock draft.
Maybe
Right
125 donations.
What?
I'm joking.
I was like, that is a lot.
That's about.
So 18 votes so far in the chat. Guys, if you care about what format you're about to see for the next mock draft, vote in the chat. Like, this is your time to change how we draft on the stream. So many people always comment and they're like, do start 8, do 14 man, do this, do tight end premium, do start 10, do start 7, start. Just vote in the chat right now. This is important for you people out there who want us to mock a certain way. You can see there's a battle happening in the comment section. There's a battle happening in the polls. This is going to be tighter. Yeah, never mind. We won't go into politics. This is a tight poll is what I'm trying to say, okay? And this matters to a lot of people.
I didn't know she was black.
Please don't do it. Please don't do it.
Shout out to politics. I know nothing about it.
Yeah, and we don't want to get into it because people will get
Did you see that Trump was with Elon Musk live on X?
I thought that
Twitter?
was super cool. I'd love to see Kamala do that as well. I don't have any opinion on anyone. Don't yell at me. America, you love to yell at me when I talk about anything politics. I don't care who you like, who you don't
He
like.
needs to get her papers checked.
I just stop it. Stop.
I'm sorry.
I just want to see
those
more from
TikToks
her.
though?
Yes.
Have you seen those funny ass TikToks where they go to like Trump like rallies and they ask people those? Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. All right. So I don't want to get into it. I honestly don't. We get roasted every time we talk politics, even if we don't have an opinion. All right. It looks like the chat is voting start 8. All right. Out of 33 votes, start 8 is the most voted format here. All right. So we gave the power to the people. I will give you 30 more seconds to vote in the chat, and then we're going to get this thing going, okay? 30 seconds you have right now to change the trajectory of history. All right, I mean, right now it looks like it's start 8 if we were to finish the voting. Let's have a look here.
Oh, man, what a day!
All right,
send me a link to that mock draft, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just making it right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So this is going to be start 8. All right, the poll is officially over. Hopefully you submitted your vote and did your due diligence. But it is going to be start 8. It is going to be start 8. So that's what we're going to rock with. Badaki has a link.
Yeah, I'll send that link, guys. Once again, join the Discord announcements tab. 3, 2, 1. That link is officially out. It is first come, first serve.
And yeah, again, keep in mind, start 8. What does start 8 mean? It's all about your starting lineup, okay? So start 8 means 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 flex spots. If you're in a start 7, you probably have 1 flex spot. If you're in a start 9, you probably have 3 flex spots. And that truly does change entirely how you should draft. Okay, 1 quarterback, PPR, start 8. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and let's put up a new like goal as well. 125 likes equals third mock draft tonight.
125. 125. I'm gonna try Tyreek Hill here at the 102. Practice what I preach. If the season started tomorrow, or at the end, like, you know.
Sure.
See how I feel about taking Tyreek Hill. I've actually never done this before. I've been preaching it, but I haven't been actually putting it into work. So let's see how that feels getting Tyreek here at the 102. Now you're at the 107 here.
I am at the 107. Start 8. I can lean either way in the first round, personally. I'm not. Look, I definitely get the concern with JJ. I'm not concerned to the point where I'm going to let him fall further than this myself. I understand a lot of people are, but I'm not that concerned where I'm going to let him fall to the late first round in a draft myself. You know, we saw him successful with Nick Mullins last year. I get it. It's a different offense, but I still think he's going to find a way to be a reliable player. And I think he's a safe pick as well in the first round. Now, if you're in a start 7, I'd probably go Bijan Robinson there. I'd probably put a little bit more of an emphasis on the running back position. But I know from doing hundreds and hundreds of mock drafts this offseason that I hate wide receivers in round 2. I just do not like the options that are presented to me. So we're going to go wide receiver in round 1 here and see what falls to us in round 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, because, there's a lot, obviously Bijan Robinson this past year, top 10 running back this past year. I think he was just under 15 fantasy points per game. Yeah. The expectation, especially with Zach Robinson, the way he utilized Kyron Williams, that clearly Bijan Robinson, the better talent, more opportunity here. Hopefully a better offense coming in.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Like I think right now, if I have Bijan Robinson, Justin Jefferson in front of me, I'm taking Bijan Robinson.
I get that. I'm the opposite.
I don't know when I'll be okay to take Justin Jefferson. Like, you're on the clock.
Dang,
Okay.
So what? You're not taking him in the first round? Like, so what? AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson. AJ Brown.
It's AJ. Yeah.
Puka Nacua or Justin Jefferson.
Then I think that's where this is where I will struggle, right? I think it's Puka Nacua, Justin Jefferson.
Damn, really?
It's like I want to take Justin Jefferson, but like I'm still not confident. I think the floor is safe. Man, but I think the ceiling. I feel like the ceiling is higher with Puka with Matthew Stafford.
I think people are underestimating how good Kevin O'Connell's offenses are. I think people are massively underestimating how good Kevin O'Connell is at getting his players the ball with whoever's at quarterback.
Yeah, and maybe that's my what's the term? My extreme doubt in Sam Darnold actually producing Justin Jefferson. I don't think Justin Jefferson is the problem.
Do you think Sam Darnold is better than Nick Mullins?
No question.
All right. Shouldn't be worried then. Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying? Okay, in round 2, we see a huge run of running backs, and honestly, I feel good about going wide receiver in round 1. I would rather have had here Jefferson Henry, Jefferson Kyron, Jefferson Etienne, Jefferson Gibbs than, let's say, Bijan London. Like, that's what I would have been stuck with there. Bijan London, and if I didn't want London, I would have had to gone Bijan Olave, Adams. Like, none of that felt right to me, so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so a lot of people on our channel, and I love that you guys are coming to us, and I love that you trust us. I love that you think we are, people that you can talk through your fantasy season with. We love that. They often ask, if I'm in this league, in this format, what should I do? Well, I released a video about 3 weeks ago for you guys, and it is the perfect video, regardless of what strategy regardless of what format you're in this year, okay? This is the video here, the secret to winning your fantasy football drafts this year. You can see me talking start 7, start 8, start 9, start 10. I even go into depth of how many people are in your league. So if you want the answer to, hey, I'm in a 8-man start 7, I'm in a 14-man start 10, I'm in a 12-man start 8, whatever your format is, go watch the video to the link that I just place in the chat. It will be helpful for you because it would explain pretty much how I would draft and what positions I would prioritize in pretty much every single format. Yeah. But you gotta watch it all the way through. A lot of people just skip through and they don't read important content and don't watch important context. So that's a big thing I would suggest doing.
Yeah, go check that out, guys.
So you started 3 wide receivers there.
Yeah, 3 wide receivers. I'm not a huge lover of like this turn here, right? I feel really confident in Nico. Then it gets to a point where like I feel like I'm reaching a little bit when it comes down to Jacobs, White, or even Brandon Ayuk. I feel more comfortable taking Pacheco at the end of the 3rd instead of early 3rd. So I went Deebo Samuel there with the expectation if Brandon Ayuk is no longer on this team, I think Deebo Samuel's value gets boosted. There's more opportunity there for Deebo Samuel as well. So I'm taking that with the expectation of Brandon Ayuk gets traded.
Yeah, sorry. My mom's vacuuming outside, and I don't want to tell her to stop because I don't want her to be angry at me.
Ma!
So if you hear that, that's what's happening. But
where's the meatloaf?
Anyway.
The meatloaf!
What I was going to quickly say is I've talked about this before, but if Ayuk is traded away, I would take Debo at the 1-2 turn. I think. Like
Yeah,
that's how high I
would-
would consider
yeah,
him.
it's a lock in at the 1-2 turn, and I
Like
think
I'm probably taking him over Marvin
or the
for
2-3 turn. You mean?
security.
Oh, the
No.
1-2 turn.
No, like I'm like, okay, do I take Debo or Marvin? Do I take Debo or
Oh.
JT? Do I take Debo or Gibbs? That's the conversation I'm having with myself.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I would feel more confident taking Debo over Adams and Olave. I think
Same.
London comes. I think
Especially
London
with
comes
no
into play.
Ayuk.
Yeah, London's a tough one. I would say. I don't know how confident I would be with.
I would be Debo
I mean, look,
over London pretty easily.
London. Ceiling feels like it's going to skyrocket this year, so it's more expectation.
We already
rather
know
than
that
what we
Debo
know what
is
Debo has
on
done.
one of the better offenses in the NFL.
Yeah,
We
so I get what you're
think
saying.
London could be. So to me, if Ayuk is traded, I actually feel like in San Francisco, everything is more enticing to me. Like if Ayuk is gone, CMC, there's no other person for me at the 101 than CMC. Like it's a locked and loaded. CMC's locked in as the guy. Debo becomes a second round pick for me. Kelsey gets locked into that, top tier as an option with all those other tight end names. So Jacobs falling to the 404 is insane. I was genuinely thinking about taking him at the 307. That's kind of wild to me. I don't know. Not wild to you guys. That's wild to me. Jacobs falling that far.
Yeah. Look, he normally goes in the third round. That makes sense. I mean, this last draft, he went in the 3-9 that we just did. That start 9. So I guess it just depends on how you value Josh Jacobs.
Sleeper's bugging. What's happening? Oh my gosh. Hold on. No. Y'all saw that. Y'all saw that. That's not me bugging. That's Sleeper's fault, okay? Y'all saw that. I'll make my pick real quick. But that's Sleeper's fault. We'll take Alvin Kamara here. Same position, okay? I had literally no time at all. Y'all saw that.
That's okay. I ain't mad at it.
I was waiting for Kevin to make a pick, and then I refreshed my page and it said 1 second left for me.
I ain't mad at it. There goes Rachaad White there. J-Mac starting, really similar start to me. Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, Jalen Waddle. Love Jalen Waddle there. No question.
El Guerrero says Bijan and London or Bijan and Olave. Like, personally, I don't want to take 2 Falcons in the first round. I think it's different if you take 2 Eagles because we already know that offense is very good. I think that's just too much of a projection. I think the offense is going to be good in Atlanta, but I'm not willing to bet my first 2 picks in fantasy on an offense that I think can be good. I project can be good. I already know the Eagles are a good offense. So I personally can't invest that much into the Falcons in the first 2 rounds personally.
Yeah, look, it's definitely tough to take both of those Eagles there. I would say this. I feel more confident in London over Olave personally. But I agree with Zach is saying, like, to stack up on both of those guys feels like you're going to limit your upside there.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to take Dalton Kincaid at this turn. So I get what you're saying. I'm just not a big London believer.
Sure.
This year. Yeah. Or Olave believer.
So Mixon goes at the 411 here. Remember last time I got him at the 512. So you can see that kind of becoming a little more normal. The other thing I thought was interesting, Cooper Kupp at the 4.7 feels very low. Same with DK Metcalf at the 4.12. He sometimes goes third round. So
I feel like both of these mock drafts were kind of crazy. I mean, we saw the likes of like Jaden Reed. I feel like go at the end of the 6th, where I feel like he normally goes like 5th round next to Rashee Rice. Like that was one thing I noticed. Obviously, Dave Montgomery or Joe Mixon, excuse me. So I think both of these mocks are changing, and maybe it's because of the conversations that are happening throughout the community right now, and that's happening in the league, right? So I mean, Mark Andrews at the 312. Not saying that that's not normal.
yeah.
You took him at the 312 this last mock, so normally you'll see him comfortably, no doubt, going in the 4th round.
Man, I wish I knew the Ayuk situation. Look at this pick right here. I mean, I don't know enough. I'm going to go Kyle Pitts. I don't know enough. I wish I
Were you
did.
thinking? You were thinking George there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I knew Ayuk was gone, it would easily be Pickens. But if I take Pickens at the 5-7 and Ayuk is a Steeler, it's a wasted pick. He needs to fall like multiple rounds if that happens. I'd say like 3 rounds. Pickens needs to become like a 7th, 8th round pick, I think.
I think that happens once Ayuk is there, but I don't think it's going to happen now until that news breaks.
Sure.
That news better happen soon because we got a draft this weekend.
Actually, yeah.
that's the only sucky part about drafting early.
I hate trying to get this early, to be honest.
Yeah, having getting everyone together is definitely tough. And you know what's crazy? Like we were all traveling at like some of the worst times.
Yeah.
Like you and me are traveling, you know, and then the English boys are traveling. It's just tough.
Yeah. Sunraker's in a start 30 league. I don't know if anybody saw that comment. That's insane. I'm gonna start 30. Any advice in round 20? Start 30 is actually mental. That sounds so tasking. Like, can you imagine setting that lineup every week?
That's just tiring. Like I don't want to do that. I hope that's a best ball league. Like give me start 30 best ball. Like I want to forget about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, he said it was a joke. All right. Well, we're obviously very gullible. Man, I should have gone Rashee Rice here. That's the ADP. You know what I need to do? And eventually, by the way, guys, if you're on the Flock Fantasy site, I have talked to our developers. I want this to be a feature on our website eventually. Might not be this year, but I want you guys to be able to like use anyone's rankings on the websites while you draft, and it automatically marks it off as you go. But right now, Fantasy Pros has a feature that does that, so I need to integrate my rankings into their site. So as I draft, it helps me.
Brother, just get the cheat sheet, man. That's why I made the cheat sheet for you guys. You get
cheat sheet. Actually, you know what? That's actually perfect. You're right. The cheat sheet is perfect. I can print that off as I go. I forgot we have that cheat sheet. Great point. That's exactly what I need it for.
I want a Monty there.
All right, Montgomery comes off the board. Man, I don't feel a ton of confidence with this pick, if I'm honest with you. I am going to grab Calvin Ridley here.
For you. Oh, Joe, sorry. Continue.
I think Calvin is actually reasonably priced this year. You know, clearly last year he was priced too high.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Calvin was.
But
fucking
I think he's actually pretty reasonably priced this year. Like you kind of bake in the upside and the risk of, is Will Levis actually good? So I kind of like Calvin Ridley this year. It's a decent pick.
Oh gosh, I want a Swifty too.
Dom says, only thing that sucks mocking with y'all is when I get to my home league, I'm looking at hella good players trying to decide who to pick. Yes, but
that happens to us as well, because it happens in our home league.
Yeah.
Because
like, oh my god, all these players are available. I didn't know I have this option.
You're like, holy shit, it's like who to pick, and then you make a panic pick, and you're like, oh. Then you realize who you really wanted.
The more you mock, the better you'll feel about it, though.
Yeah.
The more you mock across the board in these formats, you'll know your targets. By the way, guys, light goal for the third mock draft of the night is 125. We are about 25 likes away from that goal. So if you want this party to continue, if you want to see another mock draft, honestly, I'm fine to stop it here because, again, we have so much work to do. We are on a plane on Friday heading to Austin, Texas. We have one less week and we have the same amount of work.
One less day, yeah.
If the party ends here, I'm okay with that. But the like goal is 125 to get a third mock draft with y'all. So just a heads up, if you want to keep the party going, hit the like button. But I'm totally fine for the party to stop here.
Yeah, so, we got a lot of stuff to do.
Question. So I guess you didn't take... I know you like Christian Kirk. I'm assuming you didn't take him here because you needed a running back. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I needed to just solidify something. I was hoping Raheem Mostert potentially would come back to me. Mm-hmm. But maybe that's just me being naive and not reading the board, realizing that he needs another running back. I could have just taken Raheem Mostert and then been okay with Christian Kirk on the comeback there at the 7-2.
Shout out to Kim K.
Shout out to Kim K. I mean, it's sponsor of this show. We're sponsored by Skims, by the way, guys. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, you got to check out that ad. It's next level good. I'm going to grab Lab McConkey here at 707. The middle of the board is just such a better place to draft.
Yeah, man, it's nice.
The edges suck.
It's nice. Edges do suck. I have the 102 in one of our leagues, and I don't want it. I mean, I do and I don't. I think I have it in the. I think. Actually, I have it in Superflex, so I'm chilling.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Superflex, I
get
think it's Superflex.
MJ says, if Ayuk is traded, do you trust Purdy Debo combo or Wilson Ayuk? If you're asking, I have to choose one of those. Purdy Debo.
Purdy Debo, no question. No question.
I don't really ever want to start Wilson, but I guess you're just asking from like a production perspective. Yeah, Sunraker, it'll be cool, man. It'll be interesting. I mean, we've never done something like this before, so it'll be awesome to be with all the creators.
Yeah.
Gonzo says, in a start 7, is Allen in the third too expensive? No, I don't think it is.
No.
Not in a start 7.
I think we might be happy to take him maybe even at the end of at that turn, depending on where you're at in a start 7.
You got to know if the tight ends or the quarterbacks are going to go earlier in a start 7 in your league, and then prioritize the one that's going to go earlier in a start 7.
Positions are crucial.
Totally different in a start 9. Okay, so. All right, so in the 9th round, a lot of receivers I really love went off the board. Chris Godwin, Deontay Johnson. I took Lad Worthy, who I'm in on now, JSN, Addison, Watson, all guys that I'm willing to draft, all go off the board. So round 7 looks like a very good money round for those wide receivers this year.
Yeah, I agree. I was hoping for one of those guys to come back, but that's okay.
Shout out to Kim K.
I actually might email her and see if she wants.
Yeah.
I'm going to email her and see if she actually wants to sponsor us. Genuinely.
You know, it's funny because Badaki and I, we get emails all the time from people who want to be a sponsor or whatever. Not to say that we're cool or like we're a big deal. We're not, okay? It's just we get a lot of emails from people who are like, we want to sponsor, we want to do this, we want to do that. And it's just like, it's just things we don't believe in. It's just like, you know, I'm not going to say anything in particular because I don't want the companies to feel bad, but there's just a lot of people who email us and we just don't believe in what they're doing, or we don't believe in the brand. So it's funny that like Skims, yeah, we believe in Skims. No, I just think that would be funny.
You're on the clock here. What are you thinking?
I am on the clock, and I don't really love any pick here. I was hoping Javonte was going to fall. He doesn't. I wonder if Hollywood becomes a good pick at this point.
Hollywood, 4 to 6 weeks, it looks like. So how many weeks until the season starts?
Actually, we'll take a shot on Jonathan Brooks here.
4, 5. So it looks
I didn't have the balls to take Hollywood.
It looks
Someone
like
else did.
Hollywood potentially would come back. Once again, shout out to Kim K. 4 to 6 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So week 5.
Comeback of the year. Kim
Is
K.
it week 5? Week 4 to 5, Hollywood Brown might not come back. So that's also a tough one to navigate. Like, how far is Hollywood Brown going to be falling? Where did he go in this last mock draft we just did? He went at the 9-6. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I don't know. Are you taking Shakir, and Curtis Samuel over Hollywood Brown?
Probably,
with him missing a month?
Yeah, in my new rankings, I think I am.
Yeah, I'm taking both of those guys. But like, if you're telling me Shakir, Curtis Samuel off the board, and then Hollywood, J-Mo, Cortland Sutton, Romeo Dobbs on the board, sure, give me Hollywood.
Yeah, shout out to Kim K. Comeback of the year in 2007. I wanted
Tajay. That's what I had on my queue. I really wanted Tajay Spears there. I like Tajay Spears now, especially in his value, especially what we saw in that preseason game.
Yeah, I like Tajay too.
Damn.
What's up, Alec? He says, I don't know if you guys covered it already, but how much are we stressing on the the news about Jamar Chase? You guys tell me, is there some new news that's come out in the last hour?
No, it's just the news that he's not at practice.
Oh,
Like apparently he
Same thing
hasn't
with CeeDee Lamb.
practiced. He hasn't practiced at all. Apparently, like he's not holding out. He just hasn't practiced.
Well,
since
then he's
training
clearly
camp.
holding out.
But the thing is, there's no conversation about that.
Well, it doesn't mean he's
Like-
not holding out.
Yeah, sure.
Why would he not be practicing? It's one reason, money. I think it doesn't concern me personally. I don't personally see a scenario in which those wide receivers don't play this year. Now, okay, so let me ask you guys, when has that ever happened?
That's what I was gonna say. Like when
I've
has
never-
a run out?
I can't think of a
But
time
when
that's ever
has-
happened.
Let me ask you this.
I remember Lev Bell.
That's what I'm saying. When before Le'Veon Bell, who held out at the running back position before him that you can name? I can't name anyone. So Le'Veon Bell was the first one, and then we saw the run of running
Well, we have
backs. I was
certainly
like,
seen every year wide receivers hold out, but it's been figured out, is what I'm saying.
yeah, but I guess the only running back that has held out actually in season was Le'Veon Bell. Oh, that was terrible.
Exactly. So I just don't see that happening. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess CeeDee Lamb is actually a huge part. Like Le'Veon Bell, they had other, like there was other ways to navigate that offense at the time, where CeeDee Lamb is the pulse. So I think the situation is different.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the time when Le'Veon Bell held out, correct me if I'm wrong, they had a young Deontay Johnson, they had a young
No,
Juju Smith.
I don't think Deontay was on the team yet.
Did they have Juju?
They did have Juju and AB.
There you go. So he wasn't pulsing. Like, yes, he was the pulse, but there was other pulses on the team where CeeDee Lamb is the pulse.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I just don't see how, like, someone's going to give in. It will
Yeah.
get figured out. Because think about it, the reality is neither of these sides want that to be the outcome. I think that's enough for them to figure it out at some point.
I don't see how it's not important to them to get it done, though, to get him on the field. Anyways, continue.
I think that's just talk. That's what I'm saying. Like, I agree. I think they will figure it out. I think it is important
Yeah.
to them. Melvin Gordon, I do remember the holdout. Yeah, did Melvin? I can't remember. Did that last into the
held
season?
out. Melvin held out, and that was the emergence of Austin Eckler, right?
Yes, and I think didn't Melvin sit out the entire year as well?
I felt like
And
he
then
missed a
Eckler
month.
dominated.
I felt like he missed a month, and then Eckler dominated, and then they became split.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was part of the season, but Eckler like went ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we just knew everything that we wanted to know. I wish I had a crystal ball. Imagine if you had a crystal ball or you could predict the future. I mean, sports betting would be so easy.
I mean, no question. It probably would be fun. I guess it would be fun because you know you're gonna win money,
Well, you just know, yeah, money is not a problem anymore.
and you're just gonna be rich.
I got rich.
But,
rich.
like-
All right, we're gonna go ahead and lock up that Carolina backfield with Chuba Hubbard. I've said this before. If you get Jonathan Brooks, you gotta lock up Chuba. The same way I feel about Kyron Williams. Unfortunately for Kev, he wasn't able to do that. For me, for example, I know it was an auto pick, so I don't know if Kev meant to do it. I would have secured Corum at the 908 if I had Kyron. Love Blake Corum this year. And by the way, this feels better to me. Zach Moss at the 9-7, I took him there. Chase Brown at the 10-03. That feels like more how close they should be, if not closer.
Yep. I get you.
What's up, Central? Jay Brooks is not going to play for the first 3 to 4 weeks, most likely. Think about how Breece Hall was slowly worked into the rotation last year. But Brooks is someone I'm not drafting to start at the beginning of the year. He's someone I'm drafting to help me win my leagues from week 7, 8 onwards, specifically in the playoffs. And like I said, we want to lock up that backfield with Hubbard if we draft Brooks. But a lot of people are worried about Brooks, and I understand the reasons why they're worried about him. But this is not a bad ACL tear. This is not a Nick Chubb, J.K. Dobbins Javonte Williams ACL tear. This is a clean cut like Breece Hall had last year. Not comparing them as players, simply comparing their injuries. You're on the clock here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going McLaughlin. Switch it up here a little bit.
Yeah, Jaleel becomes a little bit more of an exciting late round snag.
Yeah. I like him.
By the way, guys, we talked about this just recently, but we did just start releasing content over on the Fantasy Never Stops YouTube channel, which is a brand new YouTube channel, focuses on short form content. Hey, be a friend and go ahead and subscribe over there. We're going to continually be putting out really good content. If you want to know more about the CD situation, Badaki made a video on that. And by the way, we're doing a giveaway on this site. Okay, so for the next week in a little bit, if you subscribe, you'll automatically be entered to win a free cheat sheet. Now, right now, our cheat sheet is on the Flock Fantasy website. It updates weekly. It has fades, sleepers, my guys, boom bust players, and obviously rankings. So if you want to potentially get the cheat sheet for free, make sure you're subscribed over on the Fantasy Never Stops video. That will automatically enter you into the drawing, which will be drawn next week. So
appreciate you guys.
You go McLaughlin. Oh my gosh, I just got destroyed.
Yeah, that's why I'm so happy I took a quarterback, because I was like, I know these quarterbacks about to go right now. There was 3 or 4 teams that didn't have a quarterback, and I was like, I need to get one.
Why are people doubling up on QB?
Yeah, Kyler with Dak Prescott, that don't make no sense. But yeah, up to you.
I get doubling up on quarterback if you go one late and you want more security. I don't understand spending a high pick on a quarterback and then going quarterback again. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm in this position. That's why I'm complaining about it. But it's not something I would personally do. I would only double up on quarterback if it's like one of my last picks, if there's no other players on the board I really like, or if I go quarterbacks late and I want to double up on them for upside. But if you're spending an early pick on quarterback, I don't know it.
Yeah. It's a tough one. It's a toughie. Did somebody say Menula? I'm actually pumped for some Texas barbecue.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
That Texas barbecue.
Give me some of that Texas I'm just ready to have like some Southern comfort food, you know? Give me some mac and cheese. Give me a rack of ribs. Let me get a sweet tea on the side. You know? Let me get a sweet tea on the side with extra sugar. You feel me?
I feel you, sugar.
That's why I'm trying to go.
I love it.
So nice little run. You hit Marshawn Lloyd dealing with a hamstring injury as well.
Yeah, we talked about that in a video recently. This is why I feel like Josh Jacobs is such an easy pick in drafts this year. I'll go Dontavion Wicks, the Baba Yaga. Josh Jacobs is such an easy draft pick this year. So here's where I would be scared to draft Josh Jacobs. If reports came out and the report said, oh my gosh, Marshawn Lloyd has already overtaken A.J. Dillon. He is getting reps with the ones. We love him. He's healthy, all that. That's the opposite. The reports are that we like him, but he can't stay healthy right now. He's dealing with an injury and then re-aggravates the injury, and he's behind A.J. Dillon. And so I still think Lloyd will be someone that is important towards the end of the season. But if you're going to draft right now, like, I don't know about you guys, but the team I draft is never the team I finish a season with. Like, there are so many trades in our league. So if I draft Josh Jacobs right now, I feel very confident in the first 8 weeks. If I am worried about Marshawn Lloyd, I can trade him away. You know, so...
Yeah, I get you.
I just have so much confidence in Jacobs at this point.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Gator says some of us want extra insurance at quarterback. I get that, but if you're taking a quarterback early in the draft, I just don't see why you would spend a pick on that. I mean, you might miss out on a wide receiver or a running back or a tight end who's a late round steal, and typically running backs or wide receivers are easy to trade away. I like wings.
Yeah, I like wings as well. I mean, shout out to some wings, you know. Keep it classic. Barbecue wings, you know, or maybe some honey soy
Uh,
or
the OP says, "What's your trip for?" He's asking there.
the optic. We're going to Texas, brother. We're doing a meetup with some of you guys. If you live out near Austin, Texas, we do have an event that we are hosting not only with us but all the content creators on the Flock Fantasy website. I'll put that link in the chat here in a second. You can go ahead and purchase a ticket if you're nearby, but if not, no stress. But yes, we are going to do a meetup once again with Zach, myself, and all the other content creators on the Flock Fantasy website. Mason from the Flock Fantasy Stock Exchange, the Fantasy Domain, and we're going to be, you know, creating content, collaborating all throughout the weekend, doing a live draft with you guys, which is going to be exciting, or with all the creators as well. So that's going to be some cool entertainment for you guys.
Yeah. Absolutely. So in the last round, we see Mooney, Tracy, Irvin, Downs, Tua, Allen, Williams, Leggett, Bateman all off the board. What's up, El Tigre? He says, just popping in. How you boys feel about the new backup settings and sleeper? I'm against it. Yeah. I think part of your game is managing those last-minute changes. That's a fair point. I didn't really ever think about it that way.
I think there's two. Like, for example, we have this guy in our league, Brandon. He's just terrible at great guy, terrible at setting his lineup. And then what happens is that, you know, if you know his team could beat a team that you need to lose and he doesn't set that lineup,
that is annoying.
You're like, that's annoying. So like that's
it
a
helps
plus.
The average player.
Yeah, that's a plus in some leagues, but I get what you're saying. Like if you're in an advanced league, I would say like some of us, then sure, maybe we can turn it off and be like, no, you set that shit up yourself, my guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, MJ makes a good point. You know, if things in your life are busy and, you know, I mean, I don't have kids. I know you just had a baby recently in the last 4, 5, 6, 7 months. How old is he now?
6 months today, actually.
6 months today. Happy birthday. Or that doesn't make any fucking sense. Happy 6 months. But like if you have kids, you know what I mean? Like I imagine your life is insane, so it would be tough to, you know.
Yeah, I definitely.
Well, I was thinking for children, but Central says that setting is for someone who is going out drinking on a Saturday and wake up at 1 p.m.
That's actually like that's another thing. That's why probably El Tigre is upset. You know, like don't make it easy for people that like if it is a competition and you have to set it up. That's annoying.
In a way,
I see both.
This doesn't benefit the hardcore fantasy players. It only benefits the people who are. I see both sides.
Are the basic. The average consumer, the average player.
Yeah. That is going to be it for today, guys. We appreciate y'all big time. We didn't reach our 3rd like goal, but we do appreciate all the all the supports. And yeah, last thing I would say, a couple things to wrap up the stream. Number 1, if you want our cheat sheet, which we talked about heavily today, become a Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND on the Flock Fantasy website. I did just send a link in the chat now for that. This cheat sheet is updated weekly. It has my sleepers. It has my guys, positional rankings, fades, boom bust players, and it updates weekly. You can print it out. Badaki did a great job designing it. You can print it out. It's labeled. It's very clearly detailed, and it updates every single week. Print it out if you want. I'm going to print it out for some drafts and mark it off as I go to use my own rankings. But you can also just view it on mobile or desktop if you prefer. But when you become a yearly Mother Flocker member, not only did you get access to all of our databases, you know, draft guides, articles, you get that from everyone on the website. You also get rankings that update every week for Dynasty and Redraft, including in-season rankings, which will update every week in season. You get access to the trade calculator, which is the best calculator in the industry. You get access to a team review. Again, if you are a yearly Mother Flocker member, you'll get a free team review upon sign up. So if you want to support the show, if you want to keep the lights on over here, consider becoming a yearly Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. Other thing I would say is, just before we log off, some more fun news. We did just launch a YouTube channel this week called Fantasy Never Stops. I put a link in the chat there. This is specifically focused on short form content. So if you enjoy reels or 60-second format, 30-second format, this is a place for you. And it's not repurposed information. It's all new. It's all fresh. Okay. We haven't done short form because we wanted there to be intention behind it. And that's what we're finally able to do with you guys. So go ahead and subscribe over there. By the way, we are doing a giveaway on this site. If you subscribe in the next week, you're automatically entered to win a free cheat sheet from us. We will raffle that off on the live stream next week. But outside of that, that's pretty much it, guys. We appreciate you big time. Thanks for hanging out. Go watch the video we released today on both channels, and we'll see you soon.
Both channels, yeah. Love.